I'm 82 years old, and I need to tell you something that might break your heart. It broke mine. For 54 years of my life, I believed that love was something you showed through actions, through providing, through being there physically. I thought words were just words, unnecessary, sentimental. I was wrong about everything. 3 years ago, something happened that destroyed the life I thought I had built. My wife, Margaret, died. After 51 years of marriage, she was gone. And in the months after her death, I discovered something that will haunt me until I take my last breath. She never knew how much I loved her. She spent 51 years married to a man who couldn't say the words, who thought showing up was enough, who believed that working hard and paying the bills was the same as love. It wasn't, and now she's gone, and I can never tell her. I'm not sharing this story because it feels good. It doesn't. Every word of this hurts, but I'm sharing it because somewhere out there, there's a man like me, or a woman. Someone who thinks they have time. Someone who assumes their partner knows how they feel. They don't, not unless you tell them. I spent 82 years learning what I'm about to tell you, the hard way, the painful way, the way that leaves you lying awake at 3 a.m, talking to an empty pillow, saying all the things you should have said when she was still breathing. You don't have to learn it this way. You can learn it now, today, this moment. But you have to listen, really listen, because what I'm about to tell you isn't comfortable. It isn't easy. And if you're anything like I was, part of you will want to dismiss it, to tell yourself you're different, that your situation is different. It's not. So please, sit with me for a few minutes. Let an old man tell you about the biggest mistake of his life, and maybe, just maybe, you won't make the same one. It was a Tuesday morning, March 14th. I remember because it was exactly 3 days before what would have been our 52nd anniversary. I woke up at 6:30, same as always, made coffee, same as always, walked to the bedroom door to wake Margaret for breakfast, same as always, except this time she didn't wake up. I thought she was sleeping deeply. She'd been tired lately. The doctors said it was just age, nothing to worry about. I touched her shoulder, cold. I said her name. Nothing. I shook her, gently at first, then harder, nothing. The next few hours are a blur. I remember the paramedics, the stretcher, someone handing me papers to sign, someone telling me she was gone, peacefully, in her sleep. No suffering, no suffering. That's what they said, but I suffered. I'm still suffering. At the hospital, they gave me her things, her wedding ring, her watch, a small gold necklace I'd given her for our 25th anniversary. And then they gave me something else, a folded piece of paper. It had been in the pocket of her nightgown, worn at the edges, like it had been folded and unfolded 1,000 times. I opened it. It was a list, written in her handwriting, dated 15 years earlier. At the top it said, "Things I wish Robert would say to me," and underneath in her careful script were the words that destroyed me. "I love you. I'm proud of you. You're beautiful. Thank you for being my wife. I chose right when I chose you. You make my life better. I'm grateful for you." Just 7 lines, 7 simple lines. And as I read them standing in that hospital corridor, I realized something that brought me to my knees. I had never said any of them, not once. In 51 years of marriage, I had never told my wife she was beautiful. I had never said I was proud of her. I had never thanked her for choosing me. I assumed she knew. I thought the way I lived my life was enough. I worked hard. I came home every night. I fixed things around the house. I was faithful. I was reliable, but I never said the words, and she spent 51 years wondering, hoping, writing lists of things she wished her husband would say. She died still wishing. That piece of paper is in my wallet right now. I carry it everywhere, not because I need a reminder. I couldn't forget if I tried. I carry it as penance. At 79 years old, standing in a hospital hallway, I finally understood what I had done, what I had failed to do, and that understanding came about 50 years too late. How does a man go 51 years without telling his wife he loves her? You'd think it would be obvious. You'd think someone would say something. You'd think I would notice. I didn't. Because I was raised in a house where love wasn't spoken. It was assumed. My father worked 60 hours a week to provide for us. He never said he loved my mother. He never said he loved me, but he showed up. He paid the bills. He put food on the table, and I thought that was love. So when I married Margaret at 28 years old, I brought that silence with me. At 32, I remember thinking, I should tell her she looks beautiful tonight. We were at a company dinner. She was wearing a blue dress. Everyone complimented her, but I stayed quiet. It felt awkward, unnecessary, soft. So I said nothing. At 40, we had our first real fight. She cried and said, "Sometimes I don't know if you even want to be married to me." I was shocked. Of course I wanted to be married to her. I was there, wasn't I? I came home every night, didn't I? "Don't be ridiculous," I said. That was my answer. Don't be ridiculous. I never told her why it was ridiculous. I never explained that I couldn't imagine my life without her. I never said the words that would have made her feel secure. I just expected her to know. At 50, Margaret started a journal. I didn't know this until after she died, but she wrote in it almost every day. Entries like, "Robert came home late again, didn't say goodnight. I wonder if he's happy. 22 years today, he forgot, but that's okay, I know he cares. Sometimes I wish he would just hold my hand. Is that too much to ask?" Reading those journals after she died was like being stabbed over and over. She spent 30 years documenting her loneliness while I was right there, sleeping in the same bed, eating at the same table, saying nothing. At 60, I had a chance to change. Margaret asked me directly, "Do you still love me?" And you know what I said? What kind of question is that? That was my answer. A question for a question, a deflection instead of the truth, because the truth felt too vulnerable, too exposed. What if she laughed? What if she didn't say it back? What if it came out wrong? So I said nothing. Again. At 70, we started losing friends. Cancer, heart attacks, strokes. Every year, another funeral, another widow, another widower. And still, I said nothing. I thought I had time. I thought we'd grow old together, and somehow she'd just know that the accumulation of 50 years of showing up would be enough, that words weren't necessary. You know what I had? The routine, the stability, the comfort of someone who'd never leave. But I didn't have connection, intimacy, a wife who felt loved. I had a roommate who happened to wear a wedding ring, and I didn't even know it. Let me tell you the biggest lie I ever believed. She knows how I feel. I told myself this for 51 years, every time I thought about saying something and didn't, every anniversary where I handed her a card without writing my own words inside, every night I went to sleep without saying goodnight. She knows. She doesn't need to hear it. Actions speak louder than words. Let me tell you something. Actions don't speak louder than words. They speak differently than words, and you need both. You need to show up and tell them why. You need to be faithful and tell them you chose them. You need to provide and tell them they make your life worth living. One without the other is incomplete. And I gave my wife an incomplete love for 51 years. Here's another lie I believed. I'm not the emotional type. I said this like it was a personality trait, like some people are tall and some people are short and some people don't say, "I love you." It's not a personality trait, it's a choice. Every time I chose silence, I was choosing my comfort over her needs. I was choosing my fear of vulnerability over her feeling of security. I was choosing to protect myself instead of nurturing her. That's not being unemotional. That's being a coward. I know that sounds harsh. I'm saying it about myself. But it's true, and if you're reading this and you recognize yourself in my story, it's true about you too. Here's the third lie. There's always tomorrow. My friend Harold used to say this. We worked together for 30 years. He was just like me, quiet, reserved, showed love through providing. His wife Dorothy was Margaret's best friend. Harold died 6 years before Margaret, heart attack at 73. No warning. At his funeral, Dorothy told me something that should have woken me up. He never told me he loved me, she said. 61 years of marriage, not once. I remember feeling sad for her, thinking how tragic that was. And then I went home and said nothing to Margaret, not "I love you," not "I'm grateful for you," not "you're my best friend," nothing. I was at Harold's funeral. I saw Dorothy's tears, I heard her regret, and I still didn't change, because I told myself, I have time, we have time, there's always tomorrow. There isn't. Tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of today. Tomorrow is the excuse that lets us keep postponing what matters. Tomorrow is the thief that steals every chance we don't take. Harold thought he had tomorrow. I thought I had tomorrow. Margaret ran out of tomorrows on a Tuesday morning in March, and now I have all the tomorrows in the world. And she's not here to spend them with me. Is that the legacy you want to leave? Is that how you want your spouse to remember you? Is that the story you want told at your funeral? Because right now, today, you're writing that story with every word you say and every word you don't. Before I continue, I need you to understand something. I'm going to share with you the specific things that keep me awake at night. Not general regrets, not vague wishes. The actual moments I replay over and over in my mind at 3 in the morning when sleep won't come. May I continue? You know what haunts me most? It's not the big moments. It's the small ones. The night she made my favorite dinner after I'd had a terrible day at work. I ate in silence. Didn't say thank you. Didn't tell her it was exactly what I needed. Just ate and went to bed. She spent 3 hours in that kitchen. I spent 3 seconds acknowledging it. The time she wore a new dress to our grandson's baptism. She asked me, "How do I look?" I said, "Fine." Fine. That's what I gave her. The most nothing word in the English language. She wasn't fine. She was stunning. She'd lost 15 pounds. She'd gone to the salon. She'd bought a new dress specifically for this day, and I gave her fine. The morning I found her crying in the kitchen, this was maybe 10 years ago. I asked what was wrong. She said, "Nothing, I'm just tired." I knew she wasn't just tired, but I didn't push. I didn't hold her. I didn't say, "I'm here. Whatever it is, we'll face it together." I just poured my coffee and went to work. I'll never know what was wrong that morning. I'll never know what she needed, because I was too afraid to ask, too uncomfortable with tears. The Valentine's Day I forgot. Not forgot to buy a gift, forgot entirely. She had made a special dinner, candles on the table, a card by my plate, and I walked in at 7:30 and said, "What's all this?" The look on her face. 51 years later, I can still see it. Disappointment, hurt, and something else. Resignation, like she'd finally accepted that this was who I was, that this was what she'd gotten. The last words I ever said to her, Monday night, March 13th, 11:14 p.m. She said, "Good night, Robert. I love you." I said, "Good night." Not "I love you too." Not "sweet dreams." Not "thank you for 51 years." Just "good night." And 8 hours later she was gone. That was my last chance, my final opportunity to say the words she'd been waiting 51 years to hear. And I said, "Good night." If you learn nothing else from my story, learn this. Every good night could be the last one. Every goodbye could be the final one. Every conversation could be the one you replay for the rest of your life. Say the words now. Don't wait. After Margaret died, I didn't know how to live. For 51 years, she had been the center of my world, even if I never told her that. The first few months were dark. I barely ate, didn't leave the house, talked to no one. And then one day, my daughter came to visit. "Dad," she said, "you need to do something. Mom wouldn't want you to waste away." She was right. Margaret wouldn't want that. So I made a decision. At 79 years old, I decided to become the man I should have been. Not for Margaret. It was too late for that. But for everyone else in my life. And for the time I had left. I started with my daughter Ellen. I called her that night. And I said something I had never said before. "I'm proud of you. You're an incredible woman. And I'm grateful you're my daughter." Silence on the other end. Then crying. "Dad, you've never said that before." "I know, I should have said it every day for 52 years. She cried harder. We talked for 3 hours that night. About Margaret, about our family, about all the things we'd never discussed. And when we hung up, something had shifted. I called my son the next day. Same conversation, same tears, same feeling of something finally being said. Then my grandchildren. Then my brother, who I hadn't really talked to in 15 years. Then my best friend Tom, who I'd known since we were 8 years old. "I love you, Tom," I said. "You're my oldest friend. I should have told you that decades ago." He was quiet for a moment. "You know, Robert, I've known you 74 years. That's the first time you've ever said that." "I know. I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry. Just keep saying it." So I do. Now at 82, I tell people how I feel every day. It felt strange at first, uncomfortable, like wearing someone else's clothes. But you know what? It gets easier, and the response is always the same. Surprise, tears, gratitude, because everyone is starving to hear these words. Not just my wife, everyone. We're all walking around wondering if we matter, wondering if we're loved, wondering if anyone would miss us, and all we need is for someone to say it out loud. I'm happier now, at 82, than I was at 42. Not because my life is better. Margaret is gone. I'm alone. But because I finally understand what matters, and I'm finally living it, even if I only have a few years left. Now I need to talk to you. Not generally, not abstractly. You. The person reading this right now. When was the last time you told your partner you love them? Not texted, not implied, not assumed. Actually said the words, out loud, looking them in the eyes. When was the last time you told your parent you're grateful for them? When was the last time you told your best friend what they mean to you? When was the last time you expressed how you feel without waiting for a special occasion? If you have to think about it, it's been too long. I know what you're thinking. I'm not like that. My partner knows how I feel. We don't need to say it. We show it. That's exactly what I thought, for 51 years. And now I'm sitting in an empty house reading my dead wife's journal entries about how lonely she was. You think you're different? You're not. You think your relationship is different? It's not. You think you have time to figure this out later? You don't. Let me ask you something that might hurt. If your partner died tonight, would they die knowing, really knowing, how you feel about them? Not assuming, not hoping, knowing. Could they answer that question with absolute certainty, or would they die like Margaret did, with a list in her pocket of things she wished I'd said? You might think I'm being dramatic, that this is an extreme example, that most people don't die without warning. Look at the statistics: heart attacks, strokes, accidents, random violence. Every single day people die without warning, and every single day their partners, their children, their friends are left wondering, did they know? Did I tell them enough? Why didn't I say it more? I've had this conversation with widows and widowers since Margaret died. I've joined grief groups, talked to hundreds of people, and you know what? The number one regret is always the same. Not, I wish I'd worked less. Not, I wish we'd traveled more. Not, I wish we'd saved more money. It's always, I wish I'd told them, every single time. So let me be very clear. If you love someone, tell them today, not tomorrow, not next week, not on their birthday or your anniversary. Today, right now. Put down your phone after you're done here and go find them. Look them in the eyes. Say the words, I love you. I'm grateful for you. You make my life better. Thank you for being in my life. It takes 10 seconds. 10 seconds, that might be the most important 10 seconds of your entire relationship. Don't wait, please. Don't be me. If I could go back and talk to my 28-year-old self on my wedding day, here's what I would say. I'd grab him by the shoulders and I'd look him in the eyes and I'd tell him, stop. Stop thinking that showing up is enough. It's not. Presence without expression is just existing in the same space. Stop believing that vulnerability is weakness. It's not. It takes more courage to say I love you than to stay silent. Stop assuming she knows how you feel. She doesn't. Nobody can read minds. Nobody should have to. Stop using I'm not the emotional type as an excuse. It's not a personality. It's a choice, and you can choose differently. Stop waiting for the right moment to say what matters. There is no right moment. There's only now. Start. Start telling her she's beautiful every day. When she wakes up, when she's making dinner, when she's wearing sweatpants, start thanking her for the small things, the big things, everything in between. Start saying, I love you, like it's oxygen, because for your relationship it is. Start being specific, not just I love you, but I love the way you laugh. I love your kindness. I love how you see the best in people. Start expressing gratitude out loud. Don't just think it. Don't just feel it. Say it. If you have children, start telling them now. Don't wait until they're adults. Don't wait until you're 82. Tell them today that you love them, that you're proud of them, that they matter. If your parents are still alive, call them. Today, not next weekend. Today. Tell them what they mean to you. Thank them for something specific. You don't know how many more conversations you'll get. If you have a best friend, someone who's been there for you, tell them, you're important to me. I'm grateful for you. It will feel awkward. Do it anyway. It will feel uncomfortable. Do it anyway. It will feel foreign. Do it anyway. Because the alternative is this: an empty house, a folded piece of paper with words your partner wished you'd said, journals filled with loneliness, a lifetime of regret. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anyone. I'm 82 years old now. Margaret has been gone for 3 years. And these 3 years, despite the grief, have been the most honest years of my life. I tell my daughter I love her every time we talk. Sometimes she cries, sometimes she laughs, but she knows now. She knows without doubt. I tell my son I'm proud of him. He's a good man, a good father, and he's finally hearing it from me. I tell my grandchildren they're special. I write them letters, real letters, on paper, with words they can hold on to after I'm gone. I tell my friends what they mean to me. I stopped holding back. 3 years out of 82. That's what it took. Losing the love of my life to finally learn how to love. If I could have those 51 years back, I would give anything, everything I own, every accomplishment, every dollar I ever made, just for one more morning, one more chance to wake up next to her and say, I love you, Margaret. You're beautiful. I'm proud of you. Thank you for being my wife. I chose right when I chose you. You make my life better. I'm grateful for you. 7 sentences, 15 seconds, 51 years too late. The irony isn't lost on me. It took losing her to find my voice. It took silence in the house to realize the power of speaking. It took her death to understand what life is really about. Connection, expression, love spoken out loud. I read her journals sometimes, late at night when I can't sleep, and I talk to her. I say all the things I should have said. I know she can't hear me, but I say them anyway, because maybe, somehow, wherever she is, she finally knows. You have a choice right now. You can close this, go back to your life, and keep doing what you've always done. Keep assuming, keep postponing, keep telling yourself you have time, or you can wake up right now, this moment. You can recognize that the person you love most in this world might not know how you feel. You can accept that showing up is not enough. You can understand that words matter, and you can change today, not tomorrow. Not when it feels comfortable, not when the timing is right, now. Because here's the truth I learned at 79 years old, standing in a hospital hallway, holding a piece of paper with my wife's unfulfilled wishes. The timing is never right. The words are never perfect. The moment is never ideal. But the words still need to be said. I waited 51 years. Don't you dare wait that long. Your partner is there, right now, wondering if you love them. Tell them. Your parent is there, wondering if you're grateful. Tell them. Your friend is there, wondering if they matter. Tell them. The time is not unlimited. The words are not unnecessary. The expressions are not optional. They are oxygen, and you've been suffocating the people you love. Breathe life into them. Say the words, today is not tomorrow. Today is all you have. Make it count. If this story touched something in you, I hope you'll share it. Not for me, for the person in your life who needs to hear this, for the friend who's holding back, for the spouse who's still waiting. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share. And at 82, I don't know how much time I have left. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're going to say and to who. I read every single comment, and I want to know your stories. Thank you for listening to an old man's regret. Now go turn it into your action. The words don't speak themselves, and someday is today. It always has been.